Sweet. Okay. All right. So welcome to my bare bones project. So what I did is a calorie tracker. The reason it's so bare bones is because I kind of went way too deep in the weeds and just bugged out nearly everything. So I'm going to kind of just show like really base functionality, and I'll just kind of talk about where I'm trying to go with it. So here's just sign in. So I'll just go ahead. I already made an account. I'll just go ahead and use mine. Right here, go ahead and sign in. I gotta fix the redirect on this. For some reason, it's not disappearing when I want it to. But anyways, so I'm signed in, so I could go over to my profile. And so my profile will show kind of like the food I have logged for the day. With that being said, I'll show your calories, protein, fat, carbs, fiber, sugar, and then I'll roll up your totals here with the more stuff you add. So if you go over here, you can search. What do you guys want to see? Any kind of food? I'll do an apple.
Flaming hot Cheetos.
Oh, I got you. I'll add that next. So I added that, it's success. So it adds it to, I have a foreign key on my model. So it adds it to my user. So it relates it. And then I can do flaming hot Cheetos too. Let's see if it comes up. Close enough. I'll take it. And so one thing about this API is I'm using the USDA Food Central API, and it goes off of 100-gram serving sizes. So a bit inconvenient. You're gonna have to break out your scale for this one. So I'm kind of gonna play around and see if there's a way to kind of adjust serving sizes, or kind of maybe just do some math on the back end to be able to be like cups or ounces and things like that. So I go ahead and add that. And if I go back to my profile, then you'll see we got pizza, apple, Cheetos. And they'll show your totals here. And if you want to go ahead, say, okay, no, I take it back. I don't want anyone to know that I had Cheetos. All right, we'll go ahead and delete those, and they'll update the totals there. And yeah, so that's really about it. Super bare bones right now, but eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a pie chart up here as well. And then I'm going to allow the user profile to input like their calorie goals for the day and their macros as well. And it'll kind of relate it all.
Awesome. So you're using the one API, or was the second one
So
macros?
Yeah, so it's pretty much like the way Food Central has, they have like multiple different APIs. So I am technically using two inside theirs. The one to get like the item, and then the other API to get all these macros. And then I was trying to use another API in my food search. So like if I type in potato, I was trying to use I think it's Spoonacular API. I'm trying to get an image to display based on the user input. So that's giving me some bugs right now, but as soon as I get that working, that should display like an image, of like what they're getting.
Awesome. And your crediting resources, is it the food item?
Yeah. So if I could. So the crediting item is the food item, and I could bring over the models if you want to see that. So I just have the abstract user here, and then I have my food item right here with the foreign key. I was doing the categories, but that got super crazy. So I decided to comment all my category stuff out. Keep that simple for now until I get the foundation working.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's it. Thanks,
Any
guys.
questions for Garrett? Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
It's awesome. Thank you. Let's see. Nathaniel, are you ready in here? Trying to look through the grid. Okay, I don't think he's on at the moment. Brian, you're up next.
Alrighty, 1 second. Right. you guys see everything okay? This is, I'm on team not finished, so I haven't really done, unfortunately, any styling. I did mostly like functionality stuff. The premise of my app was basically like a off-road recovery network. In the state of Washington, there's a Facebook group that they basically, you can request, if you're stuck somewhere, you can request to get recovered, like up in the mountains and stuff. So I just decided to replicate that on an app. Basic functionality goes, let's see, we got the homepage, obviously, you know, imagine there's a nice carousel here or something. But first thing you got to do is log in or sign up. We'll go ahead and sign up. And so I'll do George Washington, and his password is Bevo. And so on sign up, you still have to log in. So I will input that again. And so now there's a little welcome screen with the username or the email. So in order to request a recovery, you go to the request recovery page, and you can enter your name. You have an option if you have the GPS coordinates, you can input them right there. If you do not, I have this little Mapbox app that pops up, and you can scroll wherever you want to get recovered and double click, and then just say George Washington is stuck crossing the Delaware. Stranded person. These are types of recovery, just a few different categories so the information is a little bit more understandable. Then you can go and submit your request. Got a pop-up that says request submitted. And now if you go to the recovery database, I do have some active recoveries here, but you don't see the one that was just submitted. I also have an archive page. The reason you can't see the one that's submitted is because you need administrative privileges to approve it. So I will log into mine. And like George Washington, my password is also Bebo. And then from there, if I go to my account section, I can view requests pending approval. And I can look at the details on this to make sure all the details are there. And then I can go to approve it. And then, well, there should have been a redirect, but let's see if see if that works. And then we'll go back to the recovery database. And there's George right there. Something I could do is order them by date, most recent up top. And then from there, a user could volunteer for the recovery. By volunteering, you basically, it's like a many-to-many field. So you assign yourself to that recovery. And then once the recovery is done, you can complete it, which unfortunately I haven't finished that part yet. But the goal is to select complete and then fill out like an after action report with some details, and then it'll be stored in the archived recoveries. Other than that, I think on my account, so I have a section where you can update your info. So change my first name to George, and we'll go ahead and update that. And then, oops, well, that didn't work. Try that again. For some reason, it's not refreshing. Well, I'll have to come back to that one because it was working earlier, but I guess it's not working now. I guess, so yeah, the one API I used was the Mapbox. The other API I wanted to use was a weather API. However, I had a hard time getting that to work because you could get weather by GPS coordinates, but I need to basically change the decimal places because it only goes up to like 5 places. So I've still got to do that to get weather for the location. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
That's awesome. What do your models look like for this?
Oh yeah, here I'll grab those real quick. My models, I've got just an abstract user model, and then this is my model for the recoveries. with name, location, description, recovery type. As far as the approval status, it's just a Boolean field. But yeah,
Nice. That's awesome. Anyone have any questions for Brian? No. Yeah, great idea. I think that's something that's always scary about going out into the wilderness, just getting stuck there.
oh, definitely, for sure.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thomas, you're next.
Okay. Get to my screen. Okay, can you see it?
Mhm.
Okay. So my app is it's an application tracker. This is a homepage. I didn't get a chance to kind of do much with the homepage. So it's just got a little welcome message there. You can sign up. So if you click on sign up, then you can sign up. So we'll do right, and then if we sign up, it switches us to the login screen. So I'll just get rid of that. And then we can log in. Maybe. Maybe not. All right. It is not wanting to. Okay. Well, let me try one that did work earlier. Hang on. Okay. So then it takes you to your dashboard. That gives you a little welcome message. Welcome back, Thomas. So this was the one I was playing with. And then it gives you a list of your applications for your job applications that you're tracking. So you can add an application over here. If you click the add application, it gives you a form to fill out of just kind of the general details of the application. And then you can hit submit. I'll hit cancel right now, and we'll go back to your dashboard, and then you can see if you click on one of these, it goes into the application itself. And then it has some information about it. So you could have the job title, the status is open, when you submitted it. And that could be like when you started tracking it, if you want. A link to the listing, and if you click on this, it opens a new window. Let's see if it does it. Yep. Opens a new window and takes you to the URL for that. Then it's got the company info on the right-hand side, the company name. If you put a contact information in there, it would show up with the contact phone and email. And then the address, and then you can, whenever you created the application, it had a spot where you could put a website, and that's where this link would take you. And then let's see if I've got one. Let's see. No, so if you put a description in, when you created the application, it would show up here. We can actually do that. So if we edit it, we just say, and then we'll say, we should be able to save it. And then you can see now it shows the contact information. It shows what the description was. And then you can create an activity for this application. So I've got one here already. So like if you click on it, it gives you just a general, I haven't formatted this as well as I'd like it to be, but Gives you you can put a title for the application information or the activity, what type of activity it was, when it happened, if there was a contact for it, and like what notes. So my idea was, maybe have something like this where you could keep track of the questions that were asked, how it went, if you did well, if you struggled, that type of thing. You can also edit this. Just add stuff to it. And then it shows up. You can also delete it. Delete it, it goes back to the application page. And then you can see you just add it down here again. I have this kind of progress bar I was working on. It's not quite finished yet. The idea was kind of phases of an application. So like you apply, or like you start tracking it, you apply, get interviews, and then whether or not, if you got an offer or if they passed or whatnot, it would show up here. And right now you would edit and then select like, hey, I applied for it, save it, and then it starts moving on that progress bar. And you can go back. And then just add more. And these are all just similar ones. The APIs I used, there was 2 of them. One's called Clearbit. What it does is it generates, or it gives you a logo for the company, which is how this is produced. And then another one's called Orb Intelligence. And it produces the address, which is populated here.
Nice.
And my models, I've got the user and then the application and then the activity models.
Nice. That's awesome. I really like your dashboard, like how like this one here.
This one?
This one's cool, but when you click into it, yeah, I like the look of this and like the look and feel.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and I'd like to have this as a drop down instead of having to go in and edit, so you can more easily change the status as you are tracking the application.
Mhm.
I had a large list of things I wanted to do that I just didn't get to yet.
This looks awesome. Also very, very helpful.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Thank you, Thomas. Anyone have any questions? All right. Who's next? Gabo?
I am here. 1 second. Oh, 404. That's what I like to see. Okay. So hey everyone. My goal was to make a better character sheet for D&D, the game. Because I found the ones that I used in the past always sucked, or they struggled on certain things. And I actually had a bunch of fun, and I had a meeting with all my friends and took a bunch of feedback for what they'd like to see in an app like this in the future. So this is, I'm personally going to keep making this, the best that I can make it. It's going to be real fun. However, I ended up breaking it pretty intensely, and ended up trying to strip it down to get functionality back. Icarus and I popped out earlier. Thank you so much for helping me get back in the game. But it is very bare bones, unfortunately. But let's run through. So with the app, we have a couple of different options here. So we can go home. This, if you can't find the information you need within the app, there's just a link to the D&D 5e wiki. And then if you click on character creation, you will be able to create a new character and view existing characters that you've made. These existing characters are tied to your user account. And then you can, this has not been restored yet, but you can sign up. And my goal is to fix the formatting. So far, the forms go all the way across the screen on everything, and that's not the plan, but that's where we're at right now. And then same thing with logging in. My error catching works because I have not finished log out yet, and we get my rut row screen for log out since it's not set up correctly. And so I'll go ahead and click on create a new character. And again, the form sheets go all the way across. That's not the goal. Oops. And this is pulling data from the D&D 5e API. So here you put your character name, you'll select your class. And these lists are generated via an API request to them. And I haven't implemented it fully again in background, race, and alignment. So it's a work in progress. And then you will be able to submit it and it gets stored in the database. My models I have so far, I only have 2, but I want to add more. I have one for app user and one for character creation, character. And my character class, there's so many things you need to track that I just dumbed it down to these, and I'm going to get it fully functioning with those and then expand all the rest. So that's where I'm at right now. And also not currently included was I was going to try and implement some with Spotify API, the ability to put a theme song or something tied to your character. But it was getting pretty complex, and then I also broke my application. So it has been postponed, but that's what I'll be working on in the coming days here. So that's what I get.
Awesome, thank you. Any questions for Gabo? No. Awesome. Kayla, you're up next.
You guys hear me?
A little faint, but yes.
Okay. Sorry if I sound a little bit stuffy. I'm sick. So. Okay. Can you guys see that?
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, my project is also pretty bare bones. I was pretty much focused on getting the functionality correct, and my budgeting sheet also took up most of my time because of the math on the back end. But I have my website here. It's called Capital K Finance because I couldn't think of anything else, so I just did a play on words. But you have the login feature right here, and then if you scroll down, you can create a new account. So I'll go ahead and do that. So we could just do John Doe on at email.com. And once you create your account, a pop-up will come up saying to log in. So now, not that. So John at email.com, John. And it says successfully logged in. So it's going to redirect to the dashboard. I didn't get to put everything that I wanted to put here, but you have pretty much like the latest news and articles in the financial market. And if you click on it, I have like just an accordion with the summary of the article, and then you can click here and it'll take you to the article. Then on the budget sheet, you have your personal budget planner. So these are pretty much a list of pre-made expenses on the back end, but you also have the option to delete or update them as you wish. You can put in your budget total. So say your total is $5,000. Click add, and that's pretty much logged to the back end. And say your rental cost is $1,500. Click update, and that should update. I'm not sure why it's not. I'm gonna refresh. Let's see. Okay, now it's working. So it shows you your remaining balance once you update your budget, and then rental costs should update. So now it shows you your spend total and your remaining balance. It can also go into the negatives. So say your utilities are like, I don't know, like $6,000, even though I hope no one's utilities are that high. But if you do that, it'll show you have a negative balance now. And then you have the ability to add expenses as well. So my husband spends like $80 a month on haircuts. So I'll put that and add. So now you have that there. And now you have your new calculated balance. Then you can go to the salary finder, and I'm using, for the dashboard, for the news, I'm using the Alpha Vantage API, which has a lot of like financial, a lot of things you can integrate for financial, for anything finance, pretty much. Anything economy, also technology. And then for the salary finder, I am using the Rapid API's job salary API. And so say you want to find the average salary for a software engineer. So software engineer in Houston. Click search, and then it gives you the results based on your search. And it's pulling data from Indeed, Built-in, and salary.com. It shows you the minimum salary, the medium salary, and the maximum salary. And these are just based on the different sources. So that's why it says the salary estimates could vary based on the location and the site publisher. And then over here, I have my login, or it shows you who's logged in. You click log out, and it reroutes you back to the authentication page. And that's what I have.
This is super cool. That's awesome.
Thank you. And I wanted to do more. So I wanted to pretty much like learn how to utilize the recharts library, so I could on the dashboard display like real-time stock data. So I'm gonna work on that. And I also wanted to, I actually had to delete like a whole portion of my project last night because I realized like I was just doing too much. But I wanted to implement net and gross pay calculators. So the site is pretty much just to like help you kind of get your life together, figure out the market, figure out what's going on with salary and everything.
That's awesome. I definitely need that. Nice. Thank you, Kayla.
Thank you.
Jay, you're up next.
Cool, I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so my site is my anime mix. I couldn't figure out how to get the nav bar working, but so far it's just adding your favorite anime. I wanted this to go render to another page. And then you can just type in random animes, whatever you're interested in, and then just add it to your favorites. And then you're unable to add multiple. And then the favorites are right here, and then you can just remove them. I had another API that just generates random anime facts, and I wanted that to be on another page, but I just couldn't figure out the routing and stuff, but that's what I have so far. And then to log in and user authentication, I just commented that code out because it just kept breaking it.
Awesome. So what currently you just have your favorites list and it's adding to the list, right?
Yes, it just adds to the list, but I just wanted that to be on another page and then just pretty much be able to delete and subtract. And then the other page would be just spitting out random anime facts from this other API.
Awesome. And are you using the second API or no, not yet?
No, not yet. It's implemented on another application. It's just I couldn't figure out like going to other pages. I wanted the nav bar to work so I can just go to that page and then it just spits out the random facts.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Who is next? Ricardo? Are you there, Ricardo? Okay, we'll come back. Samuel?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep. You're up next.
Awesome. Okay. You see this?
Mhm.
Okay, so my project is a social media app where you can post reviews about restaurants and you can find restaurants in your nearest location. So this is the registration page. You can't go into the home restaurant profile page until you log in. Go ahead, register real quick. And there is only one validation that I have. It's the email validation. It's the email format. Log in. It's a little messy. Yeah, state's not working correctly with the profile image, but I already made posts with another account. These are reviews that other users are making, and you could go ahead and like or unlike. You could also make comments. Awesome. And it will show up on comments. I need to fix this as well. But you could also like or dislike comments. I guess you could do your own as well. Let's see. One of the other features on this page is a chat room. This is using WebSockets. So for real-time connections, hello, Chicago. And over here, which I'm logged into a different account. That's my cat. Chicago, hello, John. This needs to be fixed as well. It's posted multiple times, but on the receiver end, you'll receive it once. Let's see. Restaurants page. Broke. Also, you click on the restaurant name and I'll go to the restaurants page based on the search parameters, and it's using Yelp's API to get the information on the left. And on the right, it's leaflet maps for React. And I am putting markers based on the locations of the restaurants that Yelp gives me. So if I click on, this is where you are. Oh, also when you log in, I'm calling an API for geolocations. And it's based on IP address, and it's going to give you a lat long of the user's position when they log in. So there's different restaurants. You could also click on them, and then it'll go into just one restaurant and where you are. Zoom out here. You could also search over here. So pizza, get a list of pizza places around you. On the profile page, go ahead and change your password. This user hasn't made any reviews. You could also upload an image. Upload here on the home page, profile. Let me make a view real quick. View. Will show up over here in the profile page. If you want to delete it, and we'll go back to home page. It'll disappear. You could also click on. I don't have any other posts except for this user. But if I did click on this user, I will just get this user's reviews. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to my application when you log out.
Awesome. Is the main homepage just showing all reviews in general, like that one?
Yes, it is.
Nice, nice. And I see like the restaurant and stuff.
Hmm.
What are your models?
My models are the comments, the reviews, and the likes and.
Nice.
Pull it up real quick. But yeah, other than that. Yeah, reviews, comments, review like, comment like, as well as apps.
Awesome. Thank you. That was cool. The chat feature is very cool. Awesome. Spencer.
Sweet. All right. Sweet. So I did a fitness app tracker. And so when you go to the homepage, it's basically just taking you to, you can either register a user or log in and just register. So just register as a new user. And then you can log in. And then that takes you to the profile page where you are able to upload an image. So if you want to put your picture on there, you can go ahead and do that. And one of the API calls that I have, I tried to get, I was trying to get integration with Google Calendars, but I spent like 2 days trying and failing to do that. So, and then I tried to get Spotify as like a playlist so you can link. But I also spent another day on that and failed. So at the end, I think this was like just like this Saturday or something, I was like, okay, we're just giving a motivational button. So this, if you click on this, you get a motivational quote, and that is API 1. So it is not as exciting as Google Calendars, but that's all right. So yeah, and these two just link, those are just profile and home. You just go, oh, and I didn't save it, so, but that does work, so save. And then if you go back, it'll be there. In profile and home, just go to the same spot. So then you go to create workout. And you have two options. First option is to add an exercise from the API database that I'm using. So if we do that, it redirects to exercises. You can either select a target muscle. So if you want to do a biceps exercise, click on biceps and makes an API call, and you get this pretty cool API with all the illustrations that show you how to actually do the workout, which is pretty sweet. You can also, if you want to search, you can just search for your exercise by name instead of just looking at the target muscle group. So either way, when you select an exercise or you select a couple exercises, those get logged in the create workouts page, where you have the option to, you can add sets. And so if you want to log your information here, and then same with this. So you add that. When you add it and graze it out, so that you know that it's added. You can give it a workout name. And then when you save it, it will come up as a card right here. And that's just to kind of display, well, your most recent workout. So when you're creating a workout, you know, like what you did for the last time. It also logs it in the My Workouts page. And both, you can have the start workout option in either directly right when you create it, or if you have already created it and you're skipping, you know, if you're just signing in, you can just go to My Workouts. From My Workouts, you can start your workout. When you start your workout, it toggles to finish workout. And once you finish your workout, this card comes up with a date that you completed the workout on in your histories, and that logs it. So it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. The one thing that I would have liked to add would have been to, like, once you have a workout in your history, maybe to edit the sets, reps, and weights, or just like have an option to add a note. Those would have just been nice things to kind of add on. Like if I was just kind of thinking, like if I were actually to use this, that's something that I would probably want. And I think the other thing that I would probably have would been like, maybe in the profile, add something like body weight and measurements, so you can track that as well. And that'd be cool to kind of like track your progress, maybe like get all fancy with like, you know, a chart graph or whatever, but you know, that's kind of down the line. So, but just for like a basic, you know, workout tracker, this kind of does the trick.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
Also very useful. I really like the animation when you want to upload the picture.
I know, right? Yeah, this API call is sick. I had to pay for it. I had to pay. I'm paying like $10 a month for it. I was like, all right, it's worth it. I'll cancel it in January. You only get 250 API calls for free, and it's a hard limit. So like it stopped working after I hit 250. So I just like subscribe for a month, and I'll just go and cancel it in a month, and then I'll have 250 because
Nice.
yeah, because this is actually really cool. Like, just pull up whatever you want. And yeah,
Can you go back to the first one?
Yeah, sure.
That's a very intense.
Yes, some of these exercises that are on this API, like they have a full planche push-up. Which I don't know if you like, let's see if it'll show up.
For Superman is what it's for.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. I don't even know if it'll. Or maybe I should just search for planche, but yeah, it's basically like an exercise that you can do if you're like an Olympian gymnast.
Oh,
Maybe I'm misspelling it. But yeah, it's basically, yeah, they have some exercises in here that are like completely worthless for, yeah, there. I'm like, how do you, like, come on, man. Like full planche and a full planche push-up.
I saw the first one as as the person just laying there. And I'm like,
Yeah, like a
at that.
rear lever is like, okay, dude, like that's not going to happen. Yeah, so I mean, like this API call is a bit excessive in some sense because like you have exercises like that. Oh, and the other thing that I did do, so if you don't want to have your exercises just from the database, when you create a workout, you can manually add it. And then you just type in the movement name. So and then create it. That gives it an ID in the database. You can add sets, reps, however you want.
Nice.
And then, so that'll also, and you can save, if you want to add one manually yourself and then add one from the database, then you can do that as well, and it'll still save it.
Nice. And when you add it manually, it doesn't, you can't look it up for another workout, right? You have to add another one manually.
You have to add another, what's that?
So if you added jumping jacks to this workout and then you wanted to add it to a different workout, you would have to add manually jumping jacks. It's not available for.
Yeah, it's not available in that API call.
Okay, cool.
But it is available in our database, so we can track it for the user. So
Okay.
So you can still track your progress. It's just not in that API call.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah, thanks. Any questions? Good. Oh yeah, and just to make sure you can also log out.
Nice. All right.